The Feminine Line Part 2, done by Jim Sky. Hi and welcome to channel session part 1 of the Feminine Line presentation part 2. So I would just like to explain really quickly that I channel the information from Rainbow Skull. Its name's Rainbow Serpent, and aka Aussie for short, and he's the one, or I call it a he, for information about the feminine line, and that's what he wants me to work on, and that's the wisdom that he's giving me. I also receive help with the feminine line from the goddess Isis as well, who also likes to jump in and channel with me every now and then. So I'd like to read to you what they're saying about the feminine line, so I might clear it up a little bit. This is channeled information. The feminine line is different to the sacred female. The feminine line is the energy line of the world matrix grid that holds the vibration of the female, the signal or the signature codes of the female. It runs straight through Australia, activating and clearing old karma, residue and the suppression. And then it also does enhancing by charging it up with new programs of balance and love. With all of this done, it will ensure that Australia will ascend into the golden age. The sacred female is the goddess counterpart of your own being. So if you know your female sacredness and your goddess is absolutely flowing and aligned, and you're being your integral, beautiful self, that will also help you with the feminine lines that are around Australia and also around the world, but I'm concentrating on Australia at the moment because that's where I live. And that will also then, when you hop onto these sacred sites to do alignments, then your integral part will always be connected to source and connected to the goddess and connected to the feminine, will also then help enhance those lines, and then you can actually do that job of helping the feminine line to charge up. So there's 3 parts when you go to all the sacred sites, which fall on all of the ley lines of the female. And later on this presentation, I will show you 80 different places in Australia that are the feminine energy that the skull talks about. It might not be correct for the Aboriginal elders to say these are feminine sites, and I do apologize, and of course I always show you respect and honor, but this is what was channeled from the crystal skull and by Isis, and they said these are the sacred female sites that we need to be working on in Australia. Then later on in the presentation, I give you 166 sacred sites of the feminine line that go in the world, and other places that other people all around the world can go to and align and clear and enhance as well. So I'll go back to the 3 parts of the feminine line and what needs to be done. The first one is releasement. So that's the clearing. So any psychic medium or spiritual person or anyone who is integral to their female part can go there and do a clearing process. And it's basically clearing of the residue and clearing of the land and clearing of the spirits and acknowledgement of the truth that's there. Clearing away the old history, the old residue, and just acknowledging the truth of these sites, because most of these sites are so hidden in government bureaucracy, and you know, they won't even tell us the truth about these sites or where they are or their location, and everyone keeps their little secret sacred sites to themselves. It should be all out in the open, free for all. Truth needs to be in power. And we need to go to these sites and go, yeah, this site is about this site is about that. Yes, it could be only your interpretation, but if you're true to yourself, you're connected to source, then it would be the right information. And then the second part is alignments. And then that's activating and honoring and using all your spiritual tools to activate that site. And then you've got enhancing, which is strengthening and reinforcing and revisiting these sacred sites and giving more energy back to it and checking how that alignment is going and then making that alignment stronger and more powerful. So we'll just talk a little bit further when it comes to releasement. So that's the clearing side. So it's acknowledging the past. It's having the knowledge to do the research, know what's there, talk to locals, talk to people, talk to Aboriginal elders, get permission to go there. Honour it. Basically, honour that site while you're there. Look around psychically, see what you can see what you can feel. Look at the past knowledge and see if it's any sacred knowledge there that you need to access. And then it's also about reclaiming the inner power of that site. So not keeping it hidden, not keeping it a secret, but letting it out there and the truth be known and letting the right people access this site to do all these alignments on. And then it's also about spiritual work with the goddess. So you go in there and you call the goddess energy in within yourself and the entities around you and call them in and see what they want you to do on these sites. Removing the old programs, you know, there's so much residue on these sites. Imagine all the people that have walked across those sites. Imagine all the people that have held ceremonies and rituals and gatherings, and how many people have interpreted this side and that side, and how many people have left, you know, tokens of love there, or left their marking, or touched the walls, or touched a tree, or, you know, there's so much residue. You know, Freemasonry can go up there and do things, the Masonics can go up there and do rituals, witchcraft can happen there, you know, on and on and on and on and on it can go. So as a psychic medium, you need to go there and you need to clear all the past old programs off it and release it and let it be free again, just to activate the way it needs to. You also got to get down to the core issue. So it's not just looking at what they did, but why they did it, and what's the real higher spiritual meaning of what they did there. Also clearing the residue, you know, you can do that with feathers and with salt, or with moon, or with some rituals, or with some holy water, or burning the branches off the trees, off the gum tree, and the smoking it out and doing smoking ceremonies. There's so many things you can do to clear the old programs. Also that being aware, but not being in the fear of the suppression. So a lot of these sites do hold female entities on them. They're walking around there, they're trying to communicate with psychic mediums. Some of them are trapped, some of them need to be released, some of them are just wandering there and protecting it, and guardians. So it's very important to connect in with these entities on sites, as well as the animal totems, as well as the tree spirits and the stone people, as well as everything that happens there. There's so many entities, ether spirits. You need to connect in with all of them and clear them and see what they want to do, and see how you can help them if they need help. But you need to go in there and to help them. So again, it's not being in fear of knowing that how the female line was so suppressed, but just having the awareness of it. And that was what the first part of it was. The first series was as just being aware of the suppression, not to go into the fear or anger or hurt. We know it's happened. We know the past. It's just acknowledging the past for what it was and saying, hey, we're not going to live in the past anymore. We're moving towards the future. Let's create this feminine line as equal partnership with the male. And the more we have that in our mind and focus, the more it will happen. So then after you do all of that, you have to clear some cycles, because there's also been a lot of natural damage, I would call it, as a part of the residue. So there could have been floods, there could have been fires, there could have been droughts, there could have been people digging up the grounds there, people removing items, sacred items off there. There could be graffiti, there could be people partying on them. So it's clearing all of those kind of residues off sacred sites as well. Also, remembering the past, staying in the present, and always look for what they want you to do in the future. And always use forgiveness, empathy, and passion for the site. After you do all that, then you have to go into alignments, which is actually activating the female line there. So you need to releasements of any trapped spirits or goddesses, queens, or ether beings. They will guide you. They will tell you how to align it. They will tell you how to activate it. Sometimes we just have to place a crystal under the ground or in between a rock or behind a tree, or sometimes we have to do huge crystal grids. Other times we have to bring crystal skulls there and do the 12 crystal skulls and the 13 one in the middle. Other times we have to break out in a song. Other times we have to break out in a dance. Other times we might have to do a smoking ceremony. Other times we might have to do in a circle and everyone hold hands and hold the energy of love. Other times I've had to go there and just wave up and down the line to get the energy to be cleared. Whatever you're called in to do intuitively, you just do. As crazy it might look, as crazy it might feel to you, as weird it might be up here for you, you just do it. And the more you do it, then you can feel the energy actually shift and change and start to vibrate at a higher rate. Then you know you have done the right thing. Letting the truth of the female of the sacred sites like birthing caves, tubes, temples, pathways, songlines, ceremonies, sacred women's business, rituals, burial grounds, reflection spots, cleansing pools, creation spots and civilization, fixing up the crone energy, making it all being respectful, honoring the knowledge and contributing to the earth. That's all about activating and attuning it, and bringing in the alignments. You use spiritual tools, like I said, crystal grid symbols, signs, medicine woman rituals, blood honoring, Merkaba time loop releasement, women gatherings, floral ceremonies, singing the women's songs, singing bowls, drumming, etc., etc., etc. Like the amount of spiritual tools that are out there, and so many more are coming out every day. And people resonate with this one and resonate with that one. Doesn't matter which one you resonate with. Just, you'll know what to bring when you go on the sacred sites, and you'll know why you had to bring that at a later time. You'll go, oh yeah, that came in handy for this and that came in handy for that. Just trust your intuition. Like I said, you'll know what you have to do. Even really better, which I was talking the other day with a friend about, wouldn't it be wonderful if there was the men that would go there first and say they're sorry to the land for all they've done to the land, and presuming that it was male areas and not female areas, and, you know, suppressing the female on these lands and suppressing the line there. Wouldn't it be great if they go there first and they said they're sorry to the land, and said to the female spirits there, you know, ask for forgiveness and pledge that they will work better on their feminine line. It would be wonderful, because it'd make our job then to go on there for alignment and releasement so much easier, because most of the job would be done. The residue wouldn't be as thick or as clouded or such low vibration. It would actually be so much easier to then activate and align these sites. So hopefully one day that will happen and come a part of the process. And I really hope so, because Osiris talks a lot with me about getting the men adjusted to their female energy counterparts, and to honor them and to feel how sacred that they are, and to work alongside with them. And I know Osiris is lighting up a few men to teach that, and to get workshops out for men to actually get in touch with their feminine. And I think that will be wonderful as soon as we get a lot of the people who have graduated from those workshops going on these sites and doing what they need to do on these sites as well. And then, of course, you've got the last one, which is enhancing. And basically that's just going back to the sites and reinforcing the new programs that have been placed there and put there, and leading the youth. So taking your your children then to these sacred sites and saying this is what they're about and please go honor it, and teaching them the right way to honor the land and to honor the sacred sites is so important, because when our generation's gone, their generation will keep going with it and keep enhancing that line, preparing it for the golden age, and they will know what to do, and they'll be way ahead step of us, and they'll go in and do this tool and that thing and this thing, but we're the ones who've created that foundation for them to do that, and the foundation of these sacred sites for it to continue to be enhanced. Showing them new ways, showing the youth new ways to honor a tree, to honor a flower, to honor a rock, to talk to the spirits there, to be involved in Mother Nature and to be involved in Mother Earth and tell them why it's Mother Earth. Returning to these sacred sites and enforcing the alignment. So even if you have to go there again and do full-on alignments again, then you do it. If you need to go back there and release again, then you do it. You just need to keep even going back through astral traveling or through remote viewing or in physical person. And you continue to grow with love and to balance the female line with the male line. So again, bringing males there and introducing them to women's business and to introducing them to what was on this side, and to introduce them to the spirits there and to get them involved in it all. We don't want the males lagging behind. We want them to be up there with us in power. We want to balance the power. We want that scale to be like this, not like this or like this. We need it in balance. By us helping the males, we'll help them connect with their male source energy and connect them to go back home. Without the female, they've lost all the tools. They've lost how to ascend. But with the female, they can learn how to ascend again. So that's all the 3 parts of it. I just wanted to show you this one. So if you're looking at the Flower of Life, which Ozzy has said is the world matrix grid, that is actually around the earth, is the Flower of Life, but he calls it the Seed of Life. You can see that is the world matrix grid, and the orange there is actually the male's line that goes across the intersection, and that's that energy frequency of it all. I'll try and do this a bit closer. There we go. It's up and down and across in a very straight, rigid line. That's their energy line, and this is the female energy line. We are the petals, and we are the seeds, and we're the curved line energy, like a wave and a flow. That's why everyone out there talks about energy waves and waves coming in. Well, we're actually the wave energy. And of course it looks like, right there, it looks like a seed or a petal or the womb or the yundi. And there is our feminine line. It comes in the waves. It goes across horizontally and it also goes vertically. And that happens in our world grid. So every time one of these little ones intersect, that would be where a female sacred site would be. And with the males, right next to a female site will actually be a male site as well, because that's the world, Mother Earth, saying that we're actually in balance. So to me, it makes sense. Any women's birthing cave, near there'd be a men's waiting cave waiting for the women to finish giving birth so that they can come in and see the child. So having those two very close together on sacred sites brings in the balance of the yin and yang. So if the men could go to the men's side and clear that and honor themselves within there, and then the females going to their spot and honoring themselves, and then switching it over, the women going over to the men's, which usually is not allowed, it's taboo, but why not? Let's go put our energy imprint there and them on our ones and give their energy imprint there. We're going to bring balance back into the sites. Pretty simple, but you know, all these laws and cosmic law and spiritual laws and Aboriginal law and tribal law and everything else, you know, tries to keep that all separated. The females over there, the males over there, but these need to blend and join to become one. And once they're one, then we'll become endogenous beings. That's what we're going to be like in the golden time. Here's another little drawing. They love to do diagrams. So if you're talking about the Holy Cross, we all know the cross symbol there. But if you actually look at it very closely, you know, they say it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But there's 4 counterparts. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. What is this one? So it also can be the feminine down the bottom, because it's 4 wombs. 1 womb, 2 womb, 3 womb, and 4 wombs. And so you can see there, that's a female sign. And right at the middle there would be the female Asna Godhead. So then you've got the, if you're doing it in the female Trinity, you have the Mother, the Maiden, the Crone, and then you have the Godhead, who is Asna, who is also the Holy Spirit. And with the males, as I've said before, you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But what is that big, huge yellow section there? The blank. You know, completely blank. It's a mystery. Why is that one blank? So when they go the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit and do the cross, they're missing one whole section. Why are they missing one whole section? What is the mystery of that one whole section? It's the counterpart of the female. So anyway, that's the talk for the moment. Have a nice day. This map was told by me to do by Rainbow Serpent, and the original thought pattern of this was the 4 original tribes, Aboriginal tribes, the flowers and the reptiles and the feathers and the fish, and it worked out a sacred geometry pattern, and he then told me to place it on a map of Australia, and it would give us the ley lines and walkways and pathways and song lines, the male and the female line that we're working with, and the feminine line. And this is how it all came about, how I knew that there was a feminine line that ran through Australia. Another map I was given recently that I thought was very interesting, with the map work and the sacred geometry work that I've been doing around Australia. Hi, and welcome to the next part of channeling. So I'm just going to read what I wrote down in my beautiful goddess book of channelings. I thought I would share with you some of the information. So I have got, so to usher in the feminine line, to activate it, we must first become the midwives to our souls. Our homes must become the temples of the sacred feminine. We must become, with its energy, diversity, compassion, ferocity, power. We must embody these within our own physical body first, to capture this essence, and then we shall carry it within us and without. Here is much to reclaim to be done on earth. All sacred female sites must be cleared, activated, and then enhanced. We must reclaim respect on all of these sites. We must heal, and we must free and feel safe to express ourselves any way we choose to with our spiritual tools. We must receive inner power freely to gain personal power, but not overpower. Reclaim yourself in your own image of self, and not how others see you or would like to see you. Remove old programmings that do not serve you any longer, and build back your own feminine rights. You will need to address the healing of your physical, emotional, and psychic wounds. You must use the power of menstruation, creation, menopause to achieve the mental, spiritual balance and practices. You must take a journey back to the center of the labyrinth. Create and renew female sacred places where females can feel the power from within, stirring up and clearing the soul and purifying the soul. This shall then send a vibration out to Mother Earth, healing and purifying and cleansing her along the way. Support other women in pregnancy, birth and rebirth to nourish and cherish the female spark within all. Reclaim women's knowledge and women's culture. Share stories and listen to others with empathy. Be a strong supporter of feminine spiritual practices and create new tools to advance this level. Be seen as a role model, a sacred female, a true goddess, authentic self. Remember, reclaiming and recreating yourself, your culture, your past and your future. Celebrate yourself daily in full glory and in full power and beauty. Allow no man to diminish your light. Hold them accountable for their actions. Stand your ground and find your inner roar. Go to sites near and far and do alignments, bringing back the love and the honor, and remember them and give them praise. So that was a part of the channeling, and also in the next part that I've added on this presentation is all the symbols and signs that Isis and Rainbow Serpent has given me to share along with you. It's important that you come up with your own symbols and your own signs, so then yeah, you can extend that out. Also I'm just going through my book as I'm talking to you at the same time. There's also a section here called Increasing the Female Energy, so I'll share that with you now. So number one is to get moving. Female energy is moving, curved energy. The ocean, the hurricanes, the moon, the cycles, always changing and shifting. Get your body moving. Run, dance, walk in nature, yoga classes, favorite things that you could do. Anything that is with movement is keeping that energy flowing within you. My favorite thing to do, and what I'm about to adventure on term 3, is creating a goddess groove class, which is going to be teaching chakra dancing, belly dancing, and a bit of burlesque thrown in there. And it's just to teach women, by using their body as a way of movement with dance, how to get their goddess back and their integrity self back, and just to express it, just to run around and dance and be free and enjoy the experience. It's not like a set program or a set routine that they have to follow. It's just following their intuition of how their body wants to move to certain rhythms, to certain beats, to certain chakras we will be enhancing. So it's going to be fun. So to me, that's a part of my goal and part of my journey, being an ex-dance teacher or being an ex-dancer, is I know I can help women who love to dance to express their feminine side through dance. So I'm taking that up this year to help with the movement of the feminine line, and to help myself and to help other women that want to come along and do it. So again, as long as you get that body moving, it doesn't have to be dance, doesn't have to be my goddess groove class. It can be anything that you choose to do. Another really good technique I used before I created this goddess groove class was, I have a dance floor out in my backyard. So in the full moon, I go out there naked. Yes, I do. And I have my headphones on. Pardon me. And I just dance. Dance in the moonlight. No one can see me. It's 12 o'clock at night. No one can hear the music. And I just dance freely out there. My backyard's very secure. It's very covered. I have a lot of privacy there, so no one can see me anyway. But you could go down to the beach and just do a midnight dip in the ocean there, or dance up and down the sand. Anything you choose to. Again, beautiful nature walks and connect with all the elementals out there. Same thing. Our energy is that curve. It's that shape like that which is in the other presentations. So as long as we keep moving, the male line is a straight line. It's a rigid line. But females, it's flow and cycles, ebb and flow. So just keep doing that. Number 2, wear skirts or dresses every now and then. I tend to wear a lot of bike pants and tops instead of skirts or dresses, and I notice I've been doing that a lot lately. So I was told by the angels to try and break that habit at least once or twice a week and look like a female and act like a female. So wear skirts or dresses every now and then for flow and movement within your body. Allow it to move freely. Go all girly, get your favourite colours out, whatever they are, if they're the blues, the purples or the pinks or whatever. Get them out, wear them, add them as an accessory every now and then so you can feel you feel that female energy. Whatever style, whatever material. You know, silk is lovely, you know, and you can feel that glide over your body, and this tickling sensations, you know, is nice to bring back in the feminine energy. If you haven't worn stockings for a long time, pull out some nice stockings and wear them and feel how they, you know, cling onto your leg and make you feel very feminine. So anything like that. Now and then, wear no undies. Just be free every now and then, and see what it feels like. And it's called airing. And so you can air it out and have a little bit of fun and feel a little bit cheeky and feel a little bit of the goddess in you. You know, experiment with that and have a little bit of fun with that. So number 3, spending time with other women is very important too, to help recharge your female batteries. Laughing until it hurts, feeling comfortable and feeling very nurtured and mature. I don't think when women all get together they actually are mature, but it's good to bring in your inner child when you're with them as well. Number 4, have plenty of orgasms or increase your orgasms. There's a lot of different techniques and tools for orgasm. The one I've been reading lately is about the Egyptian orgasm and how you can bring that in, and while you're doing it at the same time you're bringing in the energies of Egypt. And so that's one to look into if you want to research that. But it helps you increase your creativity. It also becomes to help you become more emotionally connected to yourself and more finely in tune your intuition. Number 5, prioritize, you know what I mean, receiving. Masculine energy is very a penetrating force of energy, and the female energy is the receptive energy that's open. So you have to we're very easily as women to give, but it's very important to also receive and keep those two into balance as well. And don't forget to look after yourself. Like a lot of techniques to actually receive is you can go have a massage or a pedicure. You could get someone to make a beautiful meal for you, have a hot bath and a good book, or put some candles in the room, play some beautiful, soft, romantic, loving love songs, things like that. Or just drink a favourite cocktail that you haven't had in a while, and just little things to treat yourself, basically. Number 6, reconnect. So women, as we know, are very verbal communicators, aren't we, guys? Every guy will go, oh, yes, they love to talk and tell us every story all over again. And yes, the female is the communicator, and where the male is the touch and the sex. So he'll work on a very physical level, where we'll work on a very mental, emotional level, as I'm sure you all know. So don't forget to let that access out of the throat of the communication. Call in Archangel Gabriel. If you have no one to talk to and you really need to express things, call in Archangel Gabriel, the angel of communication, and he will come in and he'll help you express everything you need to that's been trapped into your throat. He'll help you the appropriate way of how to release it. The feminine in you is nourished by extended catching up sessions with loved ones. You know, your mum, dad, your siblings, your close friends, a good chat on the phone, a good quick coffee, something like that. The soul of the female actually really nourishes. It really enjoys those experiences. So number 7, indulge your senses. The masculine largely gets lost in its thoughts, where the female energy gets lost in the realm of the senses. So men will only think when they're at a certain time of their life where they've got no other distractions. And when they have no other distractions and they're actually left alone, they can actually then go through all the thoughts of their heads. Where women, we know how to do that. We're always having thoughts running through and having diaries and writing them down and pros and cons and working it all out in our head and getting it done. But we get lost in the senses. So it's very important to indulge in your senses and let them come out and be nurtured. So indulge in your taste buds. Touch favorite things like bubbles and soft silk, and there's nothing better than playing bubbles with the kids and busting all the bubbles and feeling them and looking at them. That is really a great senses exercise for women to do. Get out of your mind, get out of your head and into your body by intentionally living in your senses. So every time you can see a beautiful flower, go up and touch it, go up and smell it, go up and breathe in its essence, just be a part of it. You know, that old saying, stop and smell the roses. That's what females need to do actually more of. Number 8, male energy. Well, it's the destructive energy, and female energy is the creative energy. So shake up your routine, try painting, create a poem, sing a song, go have a daydream. Just let your energy just flow and lead you towards your creative side, whatever it is. If you've got to go down and collect rocks down the beach, that's fine. If you've got to sit and make an art studio and then paint and create, if it's craft and knitting and sewing or long stitch or whatever it is, then do that. If it's making costumes, do that. If it's singing in the top of your head in the shower, do that. All of that is a creative force energy. Even lying on the lounge, lost in a daydream, thinking, oh, they're doing this and oh, I could do that, la 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 la. That's still creative energy flow. So number 9, express love in all forms. So hugs, kisses on the lips, often say to people, I love you. Don't hold back, share your love, and then others will lead by your example. Very true story. I could say to my dad for the last 5 years, I love you, Dad, love you, Dad, love you, Dad. Never heard it back, never heard those words come out of his lips. And then after a long time of me just doing it, didn't care what reaction I got, didn't expect a reaction, he finally slipped up one day on the phone when I said, love you, Dad. And then he would turn around and go, I love you too. And it was like, oh my God. So that energy does seep through eventually. Trust me, it could be eventually, but it does seep through. And just showing love and showing kindness wins all battles over darkness. Absolutely. Number 10, use positive affirmations. The best one, I wake up every morning and I go to the mirror and I say, by the grace of the goddess inside of me, I am complete woman today and every day. And I just say that, and that brings in my goddess energy, makes me feel good. Even if I'm having a bad hair day, even if I'm sick with the flu, like right now, I'll still go to the mirror and I will still say that affirmation. You can choose any affirmation you would like. That's absolutely fine. I was just giving you an example of one that I do. I'll also add in on the next part of the series, part 3 of the Feminine Light, I will add in some other affirmations, some other spiritual tools, some sacred female music, and some meditations that they have given me from Spirit to help with increasing your sacred female and increasing the feminine line around the world. So thank you. That's about all it for now. Cheers. The Trinity of the Rainbow Serpent, as we've discussed before, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit Trinity, and then the Feminine Trinity, which is the Mother, the Maiden, and the Crone. And then we have Rainbow Serpent Trinity, which is Rainbow Serpent, Seahorse, and the Dragon. So 3 parts to activate the feminine line in Australia and around the world. First part being the releasement. And here are some presentations of how you could go about doing the releasement. Of course, meditating at sacred areas. This is the healing bowl at Gympie Pyramid with my crystal skull rainbow serpent, and sitting there and cleansing and purifying the lines and the energy and removing the residue and calling in the elementals and the ascended masters and angels and the guides and the guardians and any other ether spirits that were there that could help me cleanse and clear the line here. This was my prep work before I could activate it. Going through a cleansing process with Rainbow Serpent at a water hole and placing them in a water, and a huge dragon turned up in the water, and we were cleansing and purifying the water and cleansing ourselves and cleansing the area. This is at a sacred site in Gosford. Some say it's Thoth and others say it's an Aboriginal ancestor guide, placing Rainbow Serpent in the rays that were coming off this carving and letting Aussie do the clearing and the purifying of this site. Is also another way that you can cleanse and release. For yourself, you can hop onto a massage table surrounded by crystals and bathe yourself in the crystal energy and ask the devas of the crystals to please purify you and cleanse you and remove any of your negativity or old programs or residue within yourself, and preparing yourself for going on to sacred sites and working with the feminine. Any sacred sites that we go to, this one is a Bora ring out in Koroit, or Pomona, I think it was, sorry, and clearing all the rubbish and the debris and getting rid of broken glass and just cleansing and purifying it, and all the nature spirits definitely come in and watch you during this process, and they get so excited and happy that you're actually clearing away all the rubbish. And this was a group. We went out one day and we went to all the Bora rings that were around our area, and we went there and we cleaned and we purified and we cleansed them all with love. Also working with your own vibrations to strengthen them and to cleanse them and to prepare them for the journeys ahead. I use the Raise Your Vibration card set, and it connects me with the elementals of nature, and they help me to cleanse and purify. But whatever tool you would like to use or create your own would be fantastic. This one I created for my own personal use. You're welcome to create your own. Cleansing yourself with rose petals, any colour that you like. I just chose pink for unconditional love. Or in a group, washing each other's feet and honouring each other's spirit. Or you could have an Epsom salt bath, which actually cleans your aura and vibrates your chakras. You could go in with salts in the bath, essential oils in the bath. Use massage oil with like lavender or rose. Base oils that are all natural and pure. All of that also all helps to cleanse and purify your soul and cleanse and purify all your spiritual bodies. Alignments. This is a element grid of all the different elements there are around Australia and the earth, and putting them on the sacred grid line there. That helps to enhance all the lines of Australia, all the pathways and songways and the seahorse and the rainbow serpent and the dragon line. There's lots of different techniques you can use. This is just one of them. Experimenting and having fun with crystal grids and finding what is the best combination to take on a sacred site with you and to do a sacred grid on site. Using any form of oracle cards you can take on site with you and get a reading, and it helps to cleanse and purify the site, but it also helps to activate them and better understanding of what's happening spiritually on these sacred sites. This was on the UFO glyph at Gosford, and I used the Aboriginal chakra cards, and I placed them on to get a better understanding of why the UFO glyph was there and how I could enhance it and how I could activate it. Using pyramid power is another great way to enhance any energy, to get it activated, to get it flowing. And the Merkaba is another wonderful tool there. Next to Rainbow Serpent on the table is 2 Merkabas, and crystal pyramids is also another beautiful way. This is a sacred site called the Eye of Horus, and on the other side of this rock is an Aboriginal throwing a boomerang, and we go here to play the didgeridoo, to place the crystals around. We often bring flowers, we often put water around the site. Others come here with presents and gifts, and we just place it here near the Eye of Horus, and we give it energy and we activate it, and we keep going back all the time to enhancing what we've done there. This is another sacred site, Mount Timbiwa, and we go up there and we do crystal grids, and we use our cards, and we use pendulums. We use any spiritual tools available to us that we brought along or that we were channeled to bring along, and we go up there and we do grids to enhance the lines up there as well. You can also use sacred geometry cards and natural rocks and anything from earth to create in a grid. Here's one that was done with branches and rocks and a sacred circle, and on most of our trips we've been called to take an amber skull with us, and that's what's placed in the middle there. The amber skull, being amber of course, comes from a tree, and it helps us talk and communicate with the tree elementals there and the tree spirits, and it also helps protect us from the negative ether spirits. This is Rainbow Serpent Mound, and this is the head of the Rainbow Serpent Rock and another sacred site, and we have gone there in a past with spiritual group, and we've laid our hands on and gave it energy and fixed the lines and helped to activate the lines, and again cleaned up rubbish, and we go there and place crystals and holy water and smoking ceremonies, whichever form of spiritual tool you like to use. That's what the group does. This is at the sacred entrance at Caravong, and I used the Isis cards, and my friend had brought the golden ankh with her, and we used it for some divination readings and an oracle reading, and we were able to tune into the female spirits that reside there at this sacred location. Again, you can do grids any way, shape or form. This one is the fairy grid, and we called in the elementals of the fairies and gnomes and gromes, and we sat around here and we meditated with the spirits and called them in using any natural products or anything that resembles that elemental structure can be used in the grids. This is at another sacred site, Mount Emu, and we took Rainbow Serpent up there, and he was communicating with all the magpies and the crows that were up there, and one came down to investigate, and they were having full-on conversations together, and I happened to capture this picture of while they were communicating. So to me, he was talking to an ancestor. You can create medicine wheels, and you can have them in your yard if you have room, or you can create a medicine wheel on sacred sites. This is my medicine wheel from home, and all the rocks are from different sacred locations that I've been told that I can take, and it wraps around like the rainbow serpent, and each area has a north, south, east and west energies, and each stone is very significant to the whole process. You can also make up essences to take with you on the sacred sites of different energies and different symbols and signs that you can place into the essence. This is one essence range that I did. If you don't bring any tools along with you, it's really easy in nature to find things that you can do to build a grid. And this was one simple one that we did at Lake Weaver on another sacred site. And we just did a real simple one, but one that had a lot of energy. You can also call in the spirit guides energy and the ascended masters energy and do a grid with them if you choose to, or just calling them in and letting them give you information. Using the Aboriginal Goddess Chakra cards and energizing them before I leave to go onto sacred site. Enhancements. You could create a little bridge full of colour and love and laughter and joy. And every time you walk over this, you can say to yourself and out there to the spirits that every time I walk across this bridge, I'm enhancing all the sacred places around Australia and around the world with love and with energy. You can go back and revisit these sacred sites at any time you choose or being called to. And every time I go back, I just place a little heart crystal, and I usually bury it somewhere on the sacred site, and I just let that site to be a reminder that I'm still thinking of it, that I still love it, that I'm still sending it energy and love daily, and that I'm still important to me, that I'm there, and that I'm just enhancing the feminine line with love. And coming home, I do love altars or love grids. And this is one of my love grids. And I place it down and I meditate with it. And again, I take some of the crystals off this grid and I place on sacred sites with me. When I go back and revisit sacred site, this is another time we went out to the Eye of Horus Rock, or the Eye of Isis. And again, we took our crystal skulls and we brought flowers along with us and selenite swords, and we took new people out there to see it, and we all gave honour and respect to the site, which is a Bora ring, and we all sat there and we all gave it love and energy, which again enhances all the programs that we put in before. Creating a little goddess area in your own home. I use the hot pink energy. I create little goddess little sanctuaries and goddess little fields, and each day I go out there and I put a new little flower or a crystal, or I just kiss the top of the head of the Buddha, and I just give thanks and honour and show respect for knowing I'm a part of the goddess. Again, in my house, on certain times, like on full moon and new moon, I will dress up my goddess statues with some flowers and some scarves and something feminine. I'll put new things around them. And again, I just give thanks and honor. In another part of my garden, I have the goddess temple, and it's filled with flowers and crystals and water features. And this was a photo that I took, and it turned up that hot pink energy, hence why I use that around my yard. The sacred feminine places in Australia. These are the places that perhaps you will need to go to or be called to go and enhance and cleanse and purify and align the feminine lines. sacred female places or feminine line that's around the world, different sacred sites that are of feminine origin or feminine energy. 166 places. sacred female objects, very important artifacts or objects that relate to the goddess energy or the sacred female energy or the feminine line. Honoring the feminine spirit.